We're going to learn how to use OpenAI or ChatGPT API. So first, let me go to its website. It's the openai.com. Okay, so you see we have API here. I'm going to hit this login, and after I'm logged in, then I will come in here and search for API key. So in here we have the API key here, and I can create a new secret key. So you need to do that as well, and then grab this secret key or API key and store it in somewhere safe. For me, I'm going to save it in my system variable. Okay, in your system variable you need to store this. So how can we do that? Let me go to show you. Hit your Windows key from your keyboard. Okay, and in here just search for env or system environment. It is system environment variable, and in here just you see we have environment variable, and down here we have this system variable. Okay, so I'm going to just hit new, and in here just give a name to your OpenAI API key, anything like OpenAI _API _key, and also provide or paste your API key right in here. So later I will show you how to use it. Okay, and then hit OK, and also hit OK. So again hit OK. So now that we have that, okay, it is time to go and start building this program. So in here in this program, I'm going to create a project idea generator. So it's going to have a GUI2. Okay, let me show you what do I mean. What am I going to build? Okay, so I'm going to create a program something like this. So it's gonna have a main window. Okay, and then inside this window we are going to have a kind of label here. Okay, name of the project, and then down here we are going to have another window like this, or another widget, and inside here we are going to have a list of the programming language, and down here we are going to select if the program the idea is going to be easy, medium, or hard. And also we're going to have another thing here, two options here, one for database. You want to have your project to have database, or you want this to have the API. And also in here we are going to have a text editor or something like that to show the idea. Okay, so all the thing we need is this thing. So here we are going to have list of, let me hit OK here. In here we're going to have a list of all the project. Okay, and in here we're going to have three things. Let me hit that, and we're going to have 1 easy, 2 medium, and 3 hard. Okay, and also we are going to have another 2 things here, one for database to select if it's going to have database or if it has an API, and down here we are going to have all the text, okay, that we want to generate. And one more thing, the main thing is not yet done. Right in here we are going to have a button to generate, okay, for generating that. Okay, so we're going to build some kind of like this program that is going to be very easy. So we're going to ask ChatGPT to help us about this, and we're going to use the API and much more. Okay, so let me clean this now. So I will clean everything. Good. Now let's go right in here. I'm going to import some of those libraries that we need them. So one of them is OS. Okay, the other thing that we need is OpenAI. Okay, And also, because we are using GUI with Python here, we need the Tkinter. But because I want this to be look a little nice and beautiful, I'm going to use custom Tkinter. So I will use import custom Tkinter as CTK, something like this. And after this, we need to create first the main widget, okay, the main window. So I'm going to name it as root. It is equal to ctk.ctnk, capital C, capital T, and also the lowercase k. Now, this will create the main window. So right now it is created, and the thing I want to have a title, I want to have geometry, something like that. So I will use root.geometry, and it's gonna have at least 705 to 550, something like this. And also let's add a title to this, so use root.title. okay, so the title is going to be something like ChatGPT project idea generator, something like this. Okay, and if you want this to be executed, to be run, you need to use root.main loop. Okay, it's an infinite loop that will do everything for me. So now I will just use this one, okay, to execute this, to see how does it looks like. So right now we have an empty window right here, which is the main window, and we have the ChatGPT project idea generator, and it's empty right now. Okay, we have nothing, and as you see right now, it is in white mode. Okay, white theme. I want to use the dark mode or the dark theme for this. So let's go and do that. First, I want to change the background or the appearance mode. So I will use ctk.set_ appearance mode. Okay, and it's gonna be dark. Okay, so cool. This will change that to dark mode, and then we need to have that title, that label that I told you. It's going to be title_ label. Okay, it is equal to ctk.ctk label, and it's gonna have a parent, or it's going to be inside the root. We have the root. Okay, here is the root, and this title is going to be inside the root that we have. Okay, we need a text too, so we use text. It is equal to the title for this, or the text is going to be project idea generator, something like this. And also I need the font, so the font is going to be equal to ctk.ctk font. Okay, and you can give size to this font. Okay, size is going to be 30 because I want this to look a little bolder, bigger. And also we can add some weight to this, so weight is going to be bold. Perfect. And after you create this, so if you want this to be executed, if you want this to be showed, you need to pack this. Okay, so I will use title label.pack, and in here we need the padding x, so it is equal to 10, and also padding y. So padding y, we need to add some padding to y, and it is going to be, I don't know, maybe 40/20. Okay, to have this. And right now it is packed. I will save it, and I will run the program again to see the output. Okay, right now you see we have it in the dark mode, and also I have this text here. Let me fix it. Project. Okay, project idea. So good. And the next thing we need is a frame. Okay, so what is that frame? That the frame is going to be some kind of big frame, and inside that we're going to have the language frame, we're going to have the label, we are going to have the drop down, difficulty frame, all those things. Okay, so when I create that, you will understand that better. Okay, so let's go with the frame. I will create a frame. It's going to be ctk.ctk frame, and it is going to be inside the root. Now I have this. Okay, and inside this I want to pack this, so frame.pack. So let's go with fill is equal to x, and also I want to add this pad x, or padding x is equal to 100. Now if I just save it and run it again, you will see something like this. So right now you see we have a frame here. It is one of the frame that we're going to use. Okay, I hope you understand this. And after that frame, we are going to have other thing inside frame. For example, the thing that we are going to have is the language. First one is the language, and also we're going to have the label and something like that. So inside this I'm going to have a language frame, so I will use that language frame. So it is equal to language frame, right? It's also a frame, so I will use ctk.ctk frame because it's a frame, so it's gonna be inside the frame that we just created. So, and in here I'm going to pack this dot pack, and I'm going to add some padding x, padding y, and also fill this. So I will use pad x is going to be equal to 100, and also pad y is going to be equal to, let's add 20 and 5. If it is not looks good, we can change it. Okay, and also fill is equal to, right now this time it's going to be both. So after this we need the label, so I will use the language label. Okay, underscore label is going to be equal to ctk.ctk. Because it's a label, I'm going to use label, and it's going to be inside the language frame that we have. Okay, after that we need a text for this, so text is going to be equal to, I will name this programming languages, and also let's go add a font, ctk.ctk font. Okay, and for this I will just change the font to bold. Okay, so I will use weight is equal to bold. Perfect. The next thing is to pack this, so I will use language label dot pack, and I don't need to add any kind of thing, I think. Okay, anything else. So let's run it and see what do we have now. Okay, I have the language, programming language. So after this I need to have something else, and that is going to be a drop down. When I hit that, I need to have list of the programming language like Python, Java, C, C++, C#, all those things. So down here I'm going to do that. So the language drop down is going to be equal to ctk.ctk. This time it's going to be a combo box. Okay, so use combo and then box. So it is going to be inside the language frame, I think, and then in here we can add some kind of values. Okay, so the values is going to be a list. So the first one is going to be Python. After that we can add more, okay, like Java, like I don't know, C++. Also, if you want, you can add C#. Okay, and more like PHP and much more. Okay, if you need. So right now, just for testing, we add this for programming language. So after that I'm going to have this language drop down dot pack. Okay, and I will add padding y to this. It's going to be 10. So perfect. How about the other one? The other one was difficulty frame. So I will create that. Let's go and see this frame. How does it look like? I'm going to show you. Right now you see we have this frame, and when I hit that, you see we have Python, Java, C, C++, C#. And after this, I want to have another frame just like this inside this main frame, okay? And it is going to be difficulty frame. So here we are going to have 3 options, one for easy, medium, and hard. So I'm going to do that. It's going to be kind of radio buttons. So I will create this frame first. So I am going to use difficulty frame. So it is equal to ctk.ctk frame, and it's going to be inside the main frame. So I will use difficulty frame dot pack, and I want to add some kind of padding and also fill this. Okay, so pad x is going to be equal to 100, and also pad y is going to be equal to 5. And also let's go with fill. Fill is going to be both. Good. Now that I created this frame and I want to create other thing inside this, like label and radio buttons, something like that. So I will create this difficulty label. So it is equal to ctk.ctk label. Okay, I want this to be inside the difficulty frame. And let's have a text. So the text is going to be project difficulty. Okay, after that we need a font. So the font is going to be ctk.ctk font, and then the weight is going to be bold again. Okay, so we don't need other thing. And also we need to pack this. Okay, weight is equal to bold, and then right in here we need to use difficulty label dot pack. Perfect. The next thing, we need the difficulty value. Okay, so the value is going to be 3 things. Okay, easy, and also medium and hard. So I'm going to create each of them. Okay, so because those are radio buttons, so it's going to be a little different. So I will use difficulty value. So it is equal to ctk dot, this time it's going to be string var, and here we are going to use the value for this one is going to be easy. Okay, and after that again we need to create those radio buttons. Okay, first one easy, the next one is going to be medium and hard. Okay, so I will use radio button 1. It is equal to ctk dot ctk radio button. So here I'm going to put this into the difficulty frame. Okay, this is one thing we need to do, and we need to add the text. So the text for this is going to be easy. Okay, and also we need to add a variable here. Okay, so variable is equal to difficulty value, and also the value for this is going to be easy with capital E. And after that we need to pack this. So I will use radio button 1 dot pack. I want this to put, or I want this to be in the left side, so I put side into the left, or initialize it to left. And let's add a padding x to this. Padding x is going to be 20 and 10, and also padding y is going to be 10, something like this. Now let me see the output of this program to see how does it looks like. Okay, we have an error here. Customtkinter has no attribute radio button CTK radio button. So did you mean CTK radio button? Yes, I mean this one. I will just copy this, and looks like we have some kind of misspelling here. So I will save it again and run it again. So now you see we have project difficulty and we have easy. I want to have two more, one medium and one hard here. Okay, that is the one that we are going to create here. So let's hit enter here, and I'm going to just copy this two line. Okay, so use Control C and Control V and Control V. So the button 1 now change it to 2 2 3 3, and this one is not going to be easy because it's medium, and also this one is also medium, this one hard, okay. And also I think we need to change just some padding here. Okay, so for padding X in here we are going to change it to 10, and also the other one as well 10, also this one too, because we need to move it a little forward. So if I save it and run it again, now you see that we have three: one easy, medium and hard. The next thing I need is to have another frame just like this, and to select if they want to have database or API. Okay, so this frame is going to be called feature framed. Okay, so let me clean this. Let's name it feature frame. It is equal to ctk.ctk frame, and it is also inside the frame, the main frame that we have. And then I'm going to just pack this here. I'm going to use pad X. It is equal to 100, and we need padding Y. It's going to be equal to 5. Let's go with fill. Fill is going to be equal to both. Now the frame is created. Inside this frame I want to have two things. One of them is going to be maybe the database, maybe the API. So first I create a feature label. It is equal to ctk again dot ctk label. So this is going to be inside the feature frame, and the text for this is going to be feature. Okay, what else do we need? We need a font. Okay, so the font is going to be bold, and so after this again we need to pack this. And what else do we need? We need two checkbox here. Okay, so I will create the first one, checkbox 1. Checkbox 1, it is going to be equal to ctk.ctk checkbox. So it's inside the feature frame, and you can add the text as something like database. After this we can go with checkbox 1 dot pack, and I want to put this in the left side. Add some padding X to this. It is going to be, I don't know, maybe 50, and also padding Y is going to be 10. So that is cool. I created one of them. I will just copy this one, and here I paste this one. So this one is going to be checkbox 2 2. So instead of database we're going to have API. And also let's make this capital D. So now save it again, run it, You see we have database and we have API. We can select both of them or select one of them. That is cool, right? The next thing we need is a button to generate, and also a text place for showing the text, okay, which could be a text box. So here I'm going to create a button. So this button is going to be equal to ctk.ctk button. So in here it's going to be in the main frame, and the text for this is going to be generate. Let's go with generate idea. Okay, so that is cool, and you need to pack this. So padding x is going to be equal to about 100, and padding y is going to be equal to about let's go with 5 and 20. I don't know if I add some fill as well to this, which is going to be this. And also we need to have a result. So this result is going to be equal to ctk.ctk. This time it's going to be a text box, right? So text box, and I want this text box to be inside the root, okay, in the main window. And we can add a font to this. The font is going to be this font. Size is going to be 15, so we can see this, okay? And let's go to do the following thing, which is packing, and I will add a padding y to this, which is going to be 10, and also padding x, which is going to be 100, and also let's fill it x. And this is done right now. I'm going to save it. I'm going to run it again. So now I think the interface is completed. Okay, we have a generate idea button here, we have a place to see the text here, and everything else. Okay, now I need one function. Okay, the function is going to be generate or something like that, so we can use it. So it's going to be inside this button, and I'm going to use the command here. Okay, this command will allow you to use functions here. Okay, so I will copy this name, and I will create this function or method down here. Okay, it's going to be a generate method, something like this. So in here, inside this, I'm going to get all those things and then show them for the user, and also ask the ChatGPT to generate this thing for me. So I will show you, and you will understand that in a second. So I'm going to have a prompt here. So this prompt is going to be, for example, please generate 10 idea for coding projects. And then I have this prompt. Okay, then I want to get the language, so I will use language. It is equal to language drop down. Okay, we have its object dot get, it will get that for me, and in here I'm going to concatenate this prompt with this language here. Okay, so it will be concatenated with the programming let's add the language here. Okay, and then I'm going to concatenate this with a dot and a space. After adding the language, we have the difficulty, so I will add the difficulty. So difficulty is equal to difficulty value. This is the object, and I will use get to get that. And again, I'm using the prompt to concatenate this. Okay, so here this time I'm going to tell that the difficulty is and here I'm going to concatenate this difficulty with this. Okay, difficulty variable. And the last thing we need to add Okay, let me just concatenate one more dot here, and right now I'm going to just print this prompt, and you will see something like this before using it with ChatGPT. Okay, so I will save it, and now if I run this again, it is going to be, for example, Java. I want to have hard project and I want to use API, and hit generate idea. So in here you see that please generate an idea for coding project. The programming language is Java, the difficulty is hard. Okay, so this is a question actually. This will be asked, or this will be prompt to the ChatGPT like this. Let me go to ChatGPT. Okay, it will be right in here, and then hitting enter, and it will generate 10 idea for you. Okay, 10 idea for you, and then you need to grab them from here and then show it for the user. Okay, so there is one more thing, and that was the checkbox. Okay, if the project include database or not. So right now in here you saw that we have 10 idea. Okay, now it is time to come right in here and check the checkbox. So in here, as you saw, in there we have two options. Okay, maybe the database, maybe the API, maybe both of them. We can select both of them. So in here I'm going to use if checkbox 1 dot get. This will only return true or false. Okay, if it is checked, it will return true. If not, it will return false. So here we can concatenate with prompt. Okay, so prompt is going to be concatenated with this one, and it's going to be the project should include a database. Okay, in other if checkbox 2 dot get, then the prompt is going to be something like this: the project should include an API. Perfect, right? Isn't this? Of course it is perfect. Now if I just run it again, I don't know if still we are having this or not. Okay, I will close this and hit enter. So let me show you now the result. Okay, we have Python medium only database. When I hit this one, and you see that please generate 10 idea for this one, and the programming language is Python, difficulty is this one, and also the project should include a database. So that is cool, right? The next thing is to ask this, or to do something with this, to use our API key, okay, to ask them from ChatGPT and grab them from there. So is it possible? Yes, it is possible, because we have now our thing like API key, and now we can use it. In here I'm going to do that. So I will use OpenAI dot API underscore key. So it is equal to, right in here you can put your API key, or you can use the system environment variable that we put. Okay, so I will use os dot get env, which is the environment variable, and then you can put your name of the variable. For me it's OpenAI underscore API underscore key. For you it may be the same, maybe something else. Anything you put there, that's going to be here. After that we need to have the response. The response is equal to OpenAI dot, here use chat compilation dot create, and in here use the model. Model is going to be equal to GPT. For me I'm going to use 3.5 dash turbo, and also we are going to have the messages. This message is going to be a list. Okay, so it is equal to a list. So inside this list we are going to have a dictionary. So this dictionary we are going to have a role. The role is going to be user, and we are going to have the content, and the content for this is going to be the prompt. Okay, what is the prompt? This is the prompt. Please generate an idea, blah 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 blah. Okay, so now we have the response. That is cool. The next thing is the answer. We need to grab the answer. So how can we do that? So I will use answer variable. It is equal to, we have the response by using this response, we grab it. So choices, and I give the 0 here, it will grab the content, and then I use message, okay, dot content. It will grab the messages from there, and then I want to put them into the result. What is the result? Result is that text, okay, that we had. So I will here use result dot insert, and then I'm going to add 0.0. That means I'm going to add this at the beginning, okay, at the first, and then I want to add the answer. So now I will save it. Now I think it is completed. I want to run the program. So let's see. So it's gonna be Python, it's gonna be medium, it's gonna have API, and let's generate this. And down here you see that the prompt is, please generate an idea for a coding project. The programming language is Python, the difficulty is medium, the project should include an API. And let's down here see, wait for a moment until that thing is generated on the ChatGPT, and then we need to grab it from there and then insert it here. So in here you will be able to see the result that is now in here. Okay, so right now you see we have 10 idea. So the first one is weather forecast application, the second one is something else, movie recommendation system, COVID-19 tracker, Twitter, and also stock market tracker, book recommendation, currency converter, new blah blah blah. Okay, use a news API to fetch headlines from different news sources. This will help you, okay, this will help you to improve your coding skill, to improve your application, to improve your idea, okay, anything you want. So it is how we can use API key. Okay, so we were able to create a program to generate 10 idea for us, okay, in different programming language, no matter if Java, C, C++, C#. You can update this, okay, you can add more programming language in here, and then it will show up in the interface, so you can use it. And it is how we can use from API of that ChatGPT API key, ChatGPT API key.